Tov Hine Matov Yalalai Lalalai Lalalai Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. We turn now to page 74. How fair are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel. I, through your abundant love, enter your house. I bow down in awe at your holy temple. Adonai, I love your temple abode, the dwelling place of your glory. I will humbly bow down low before Adonai, my Maker. As for me, may my prayer come to you, Adonai, at a favorable time. O God, in your abundant faithfulness, answer me with your sure deliverance. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. We turn to page 75 in our Mishkan Tefillah this Shabbat morning. Welcome to those who've joined us. Let's read together on page 75. May the one whose spirit is with us in every righteous deed be with all who work for the good of humanity and bear the burdens of others, and who give bread to the hungry and clothe the naked, and take the friendless into their homes. May the work of their hands endure, and may the seed they sow bring abundant harvest. Let's turn to page 77 for what I like to call the medical blessing. The blessing for the good health of our bodies and gratitude for our health. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom you've made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous maker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware, we would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basar, umafli lasot. We turn to page 78. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenata bihi tehorah. Ata barata, ata ritzata, ata nefakta bi, ve'ata meshamra bekerbi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenata bihi tehorah. Praised are you, Adonai, in his hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biyado nefesh kol chai, beruach kol basar ish. We turn to page 80 for the beginning. We're supposed to say 100 or more brachot, blessings every day, and this gives us a good head start on that with this dozen or so blessings beginning on page 80. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given mind the ability to distinguish day from night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who stretches the earth over the waters. We're on page 82 or 200, depending on the version of that you have. The blessings on page 82 and 200. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from our eyes and slumber from our eyelids. And you turn now to page 84, 202. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor. Page 86. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishitanu mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lasot b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. Please turn now to page 88, or 206. Elu devarim she'ein lahem shiur, she'adam okel perotem be'olam hazeh, v'keren kayemet lo be'olam haba v'yehelu hein. These are the things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They're honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. Ibud ava'im ugmilut asadim, v'hashkamat b'chid hamidrash shacharit ve'yaharvit, v'hachnasat urchin ulikur kolim, v'asnat kalal v'yatamet ve'yun tefillah, v'havat shalom ben adam l'chavero, v'talmud Torah sheneged kulam. Please rise as we turn to page 94 for Baruch Shemar. Baruch Shemar v'yalam, Baruch hu sefer eshit, Baruch omer v'yosef, Baruch gozer v'kayim, Baruch merachem al aretz, Baruch merachem al habriot, Baruch meshalem shachar tov v're'ah, Baruch chai la'ad v'kayam lanetzach, Baruch Kodel Matzil, Baruch Shemo, Yisrael Zimrot, Megadelcha, Yisrabechacha, Nefa'ercha, Neskir Shitav, Nemlikacha, Malkeinu Eloheinu, Yati Shei Olamim, Melech, Meshubach, Umfoar, Adiyat Shmo Gadol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Melech Halal, Amish Lachot, Baruch Atah Adonai, sovereign who is glorified through praise. You may be seated. We turn to page 96, Psalm 92. Mizmor shir le'yom ha'shabbat, tov le'hodod l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Mizmor shir le'yom ha'shabbat, tov le'hodod l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. At the bottom of page 96, a song for Shabbat. It's good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night with a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together. You have gladdened me with your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy of your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai, how very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. The righteous bloom like a date palm, and they thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They're full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, by rock, in whom there is no wrong. The last 8 lines in Hebrew on that page. Tzadikata hamar nifra ke'erez balvanon yisper shetulim bebeit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yahafriku ohot yenuvon beseva b'shenim v'rananim yiyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai concludes our preliminary prayers as we turn to Shacharit on page 104, the middle of the page. Shochenan marom v'kadosh shemo v'chatuv lananu tzadikim baronai v'yisharim navatei ilaha v'hefi yisharim tirhalal u'divrei tzadikim tipara u'v'shol chasidim tidromam u'v'kerev kedoshim tikadash u'makalot v'levot amcha beit Yisrael v'nai pashin tamotenu v'chol dor v'ador 105 Yishtabach shimcha v'ad malkeinu. You shall always be praised, great and holy God, our sovereign in heaven and on earth. Songs of praise and psalms of adoration become you. Acknowledging your might and your dominion, yours are strength and sovereignty, sanctity, grandeur, and glory always. We offer our devotion, we open our hearts in acclamation. Baruch atah Adonai, El melech gadol v'tishbachot, El haodot, Adonai niflaot, haboker v'shirei zimra, melech hafei ha'olamim. We turn to page 108 as we rise for Baruch. You may be seated as we turn to page 110. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer v'rikoshech oseh shalom, uvorei et hakol. The middle of page 110 we read together, praised are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai. In wisdom you formed them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the lights you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we may all swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMeorot. We turn to page 112. As we read the second paragraph together in English. How deeply you've loved us, Adonai, our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion, on account of our forebears whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life. Be gracious to us, teaching us as well, O merciful one. Have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah. Middle of page 112. V'ha'arerneinu b'toratecha v'dahabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha v'yachid levabeinu v'yahava u'yira et shemecha v'lo nevos lo nikalein v'lo nikashem le'olam va'ed ki v'shem kodsecha hagadol v'hanora b'tachnu nagila v'nismecha nagila v'nismecha b'shuatecha. And then to the melody of Hatikvah. Ve'havienu le'shalom me'ar ba'kanfod ha'aretz ve'tolichenu tomemiyut le'arseinu Ki'el po'e Yeshuot ata uvanu v'charta mikol ha'vom l'simcha gadol selah v'yemet le'hodot lecha u'yachedcha v'yahava Baruch atah Adonai Avoshem Yamo Yisrael v'yahava. And as is your minhag, your custom, to either sit or stand before the Shema on page 114. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Makuta Eolam at page 116. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'kol levavcha v'kol nafshecha uv'kol meodecha nehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anoti mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantan levanecha v'divarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech v'sofecha v'tumecha v'kshartam la'ot al yadecha v'ayu l'totachot beinecha u'ktatam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha. We turn to page 118. Continue on our own. Vayomer Adonai Moshe Lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'amar talehem v'sulam tzitzit al kafei b'gem l'noratam v'natnu al tzitzit al kanaf t'til b'tei le'pielachem l'tzitzit oritem otos v'chem v'kol mitzvot Adonai v'tzitem l'tam v'lo ta'turu acharei levavchem v'acharei nechem asher tem zonim achareihem למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים אחריכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים ולכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We be seated as we turn, albeit for a moment. Let's turn to page 122 and read responsibly in the middle of the page. The eternal truth is you alone are God and there is none else. May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor will they learn war anymore. You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart. The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor, asked God? We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy. Praise to God Most High. Blessed is God, and deserving of blessing. Turn to page 122. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah tehilot, oseh feleh, Torah tehilot, oseh beleh. Dai 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 dai, 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 dai dai dai. Shira chadasha shiku gelim, leshem kasvar hayam, yachad kulam, hodu ve'michu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la la. On page 122, let's rise for Tzur Yisrael as we lead into the standing prayer, the Amidah. Tzur Yisrael, Kuma Be'ezrat Yisrael, Obedei Kinumecha Yudah Be'Yisrael. Yisrael. Go Aleinu Adonai Tzvaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ya'al Yisrael. Page 124. Adonai Sephatai Tiftach, Ufi Agi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips and my mouth may declare your praise. 126. Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu Ve'emuteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor V'Hanora, El Elyon, Yomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zoker Chazei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Gerlalim Nevnehem, U'man Shemo V'yavah, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magin Abraham, Bezrat Sarah. 128. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, V'chayei Kol Atah Rav Le'oshia, Morid Atah, Mechakel Chayim B'chesed, Mechayei HaKol B'rachamim Rakim, Somech Noflim V'rodei Kolim, U'matir Azurim, U'mekayim Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Nichamoka Bal Gevurot, U'midom Elach, Melech Memihit, U'mekayeh, U'matzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanatah U'keyorakoho, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol. Page 130, please remain standing. Page 130 for the Amidah, for the Kedusha. V'kadei sheshimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakishim oto b'shnei marom, kakatuv hayad neviyecha, v'kara ze el ze ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech ha'aretz, Kevodo, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Madir Shimcha b'kol ha'aretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai, Mikomo, Echadu Eloheinu, U'avinu Malkeinu, Moshienu, Yashmienu, Berachamav Leinei Kol Chai, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai Leolam, Elohai Yisrael, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah, Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador Nagidor Lecha, Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador, Ledor Vador Nagidor Lecha, Ulenetzach Netzachim, Ulenetzach Netzachim, Kedushat HaNakish, Eshivtacha Eloheinu Mipinu Lo Yamush, Le'olam, Le'olam Ba'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Middle of page 132. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael Oni le'olam, Oti le'olam, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asot et ha-Shabbat, Ledorotam b'rit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. U'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'yinafash Shabbat Minafah Shabbat Vayinafas V'shamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat Lasot Et HaShabbat Le'dorotam Teri Olam. Please continue praying on your own, either the prayers in the Siddur or the prayers that are in your heart. And let's get back together at page 142. When you're done praying, you may certainly be seated. Page 142. Iyu l'ratzon imrefi befi ve'yon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri ve'goali Turn now to page 244, the Torah service. So, we don't have a minyan today, so we will be doing more of a Torah discussion today. Let's say the blessing before Torah study. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitzanu mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah, to be engaged in the discussion of Torah. Let us go now to our Chumashim. And our Chumash, the Torah book. We have the Torah and Modern Commentary, of course, is one of them by Gunther Plaut. And that's page 1483. Others may have the JPS or other editions of the Chumash. And it's Deuteronomy 21, chapter 10. Deuteronomy 21, chapter 10. We had a very interesting Torah discussion this morning in Torah study about the rewards and punishments. This Torah portion, by the way, has 74 mitzvot, 74 things you're supposed to do and also not supposed to do. I'll now read every single one of those 74 to you right now. Just kidding. We're going to focus on a couple of them. So let's look at page 1483 in the Chumash. and I'll chant some of it for you. Verse 10. Ki tetzei la milchama al oivecha unetano Adonai Elohecha ki yadecha v'shavita shivyo v'ra'ita b'shivya eshet yafeha hator v'hashachta ba v'lakachta lecha leisha v'heveita el tohu beitecha yugilcha et roshaha v'yazta et tziporneha v'hesira et smolat hashivya me'aleha v'yashma beit v'beitecha uvakta et aviha ve'et ima yerach yamim v'achar kein tavo eleh uvelta v'ayta lecha leisha. So the first mitzvah we have in this parsha is when you go to war and you do win that war, it's okay to take captives. We probably see that you're going to do so. It says that you will take captives. It doesn't require you to. If you see a beautiful woman among the prisoners and desire her, you may take her to be your wife. Now, in such a case, you bring her home. You have to make her not appear as beautiful as before. Shave off her head, let her fingernails grow, take off her garb as a captive, remain in her house for a full month, and allow her time to mourn her father and mother and all that she's lost in her home. And only then may you make her your wife. So not just because of her outer beauty, but also the kind of person she is inside. You get to know her. You don't treat her as a captive. You don't treat her as a slave, but rather as a partner. And if things don't work out in verse 14, you have to send her away free. So that's the first one. The one that's interesting to me is verse 18 on page 1484. This is a very controversial parsha, a controversial statement. It's verse 18. When a man has a wayward, rebellious son who doesn't listen to his father and mother, they shall have him flogged. Now, whether the parents are flogging them, it looks like it's going to be done by somebody else. If he still doesn't listen to them, his mother and father will take him to the elders of the city, to that area Supreme Court, right? The tribunal. The parents must declare to the elders of his city, our son here is wayward and rebellious. He does not listen to us, and is a glutton and a drunkard. Then all the men of the city shall pelt him to death with stones, so that you'll rid yourself of the evil in your midst. When all Israel hears about it, they will fear. Well, the question I have is that the right way to treat your child? Because they don't listen to you, they get flogged and then beaten, then stoned to death? Maybe have thoughts about a better treatment, a better method of disciplining your wayward child? Well, the rabbis make a commentary that this never actually happened to a wayward and rebellious son, a son who wouldn't listen to the voices of his parents. That they would, first of all, the question is whether he's wayward or rebellious. What that means, doesn't follow his parents, what his parents tell him to do. Could this just be a threat that if you don't behave, young man, I'm going to send you to the elders of the city? Reminds me of my father used to say, Ryan, if you don't take out the garbage and clean your room, the boogeyman in your closet is going to get you at night. So what I did was, to prohibit that, not only did I take out the garbage every week and clean my room, I also stuffed towels underneath the closet door so that the boogeyman could never get out. And you know something? The boogeyman never, ever attacked me in my bedroom. So the towel is a very strong and powerful force in Judaism. Going back to the rebellious son, the rabbis, in commenting on this, first of all, it had to meet a lot of criteria. It has to say, it didn't just say listen to them, it's to listen to the voice of your father and mother. And according to the rabbis, they'd have to speak in a united voice, not just agreeing with each other how to discipline their son, but also that they had unison, they spoke in unison. And that doesn't happen too often because men and women have different voice pitches, isn't that correct? The other thing is that they shall have him flogged. Before he ever goes to the Supreme Court, who's doing the flogging? Are the parents flogging the kid? And they finally get to the court, and they testify that their son doesn't listen to us anymore, he's a glutton, and he eats too much and he drinks too much. And then they're supposed to pelt him to death with stones. And then rid yourself of the evil? Just because he doesn't listen to his parents, is that evil? Do we define that as an evil thing? I don't know. Evil is usually worse. What Amalek did to us is much more evil. What Hamas has done is evil. Is your boy not listening to you evil on the same level? Probably not. But the last line really interests me is verse number, at the end of verse 21. Where it says, all Israel will hear and be afraid. So the whole purpose of this threat of punishment and stoning is so that people will behave. People will follow the rules because the threat is a serious one. According to the Talmud, according to Jewish history, no child was ever stoned to death in this manner. I'm glad to hear that. Some people say it's not the Jewish thing to do, but it is a way of threatening them. I remember, what's the worst threat you can have these days? Son, if you don't listen to me, I'm taking away your iPad, your cell phone, your laptop, and your Game Boy and the TV. That would be a greater punishment than the threat of being stoned to death in the middle of the town. I want to look at one or two other important mitzvot in this week's Torah portion. Chapter 22, verse 1. 22, verse 1 is on page 14. 22, verse 1. Kind of towards the end, before our commentary. 22, verse 1 is on page 1485. If you see your fellow's ox or sheep gone astray, do not ignore it. You must take it back to your fellow, to your neighbor. How many times does it happen when you're driving down the streets of Santa Fe and you see somebody's stray ox or sheep? Your goal is to get them back to the owner. Of course, you can expand this to a lost pet. People put it on the local internet and various websites, you've lost your cat. Your job is, if you find a cat, your job is to return it to its owner. Verse 4, if you see your fellow's ass or ox fallen on the road, don't ignore it. You have to help it get out of the ditch. Verse 8, when you build a new house, you shall make a parapet, a fence, on the outskirts of your roof so that people don't fall and get hurt, right? Not to avoid a lawsuit. Here in Santa Fe with our Fodobi roofs, which are often flat, right? Or on a slight angle, people could fall off the roof if they're partying up there. So put a fence around it. This is watching out for other people to prevent them from being hurt. Let's see, number 1486, verse 12. You shall make tassels on the four corners of your garments with which you cover yourself. We get that in the Shema also, right? The paragraphs after the Shema, we're supposed to have fringes to remind us of God's mitzvot. So I won't go through all 74, but this is a compendium of a lot of the rules we've had throughout Torah as well. At this point in the Torah, we're getting to the end of the travels in the wilderness. Why is Moses telling the people about this all over again? Who's he talking to at the end of 40 years in wandering in the wilderness? Is he talking to the people who got out of Egypt and witnessed the plagues, the 10 plagues, the ones who marched through the Red Sea? Were these the people who that he's talking to now, who saw the 10 Commandments being given to the people? No. These are the children and grandchildren, right? The next generation, they weren't there at the parting of the Red Sea. They weren't there at the giving of the law on Mount Sinai. He has to tell these people who never saw this, never experienced it, you're about to go into Israel, the promised land. This is what happened to you over the last 40 years of the people. It's a second chance to talk to all the people. There's only a couple of people left who are still alive from that generation of Egypt, right? Joshua, who's going to lead the people now, and Caleb, one of the spies who gave a good report. So the other generation is gone. They were condemned to wander for 40 years in the desert, in the wilderness, and not experience the new world. So I'll say on your own time, go through the other 70 mitzvot we haven't covered today. Do you have any questions? It's in the book. So, while we have Torah out among us, this is a great time to ask for God's help in healing those who are ill. So we'll sing the Misha Berach prayer and then insert the names of those we know who need healing. Page 253 in our Siddur. Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor Abtachav Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Let's go around the room and ask if those here have anybody that they'd like to say a blessing of healing for. Candace, do you have anybody you want to say a prayer of healing for? Anybody share their name? Okay, thank you. And Renata? Thank you so much. And those of you at home, you can certainly mention those names out loud for those who you know who need healing. Here in the Bema, Joyce Weiser, Mick Brown, Carl Stolniker, Nora Gluck, Jane Siegel, Ellen Lowenberg, Steve and Sherry Harwood, Jean Simonoff, Frank Remmer, Barbara Meyer, Carol Rudman, Jane Hochberg, Carlos Villarreal, Gary Polkowitz, Susan and Frank Fernansky, Jim Simmons, Catherine Werner, Adrian Gross, Sheila Stalder, Scott Lewis, Sophie Hopford Farr, Ingrid Gustafson, Jerry Steinberg, Fagny Martz, James Hetherington, Sandra Levine, Martha Ramirez, Cindy Pabst, Ann Laser, Kathy Romero, Maria Romero, Marsha Landry, Carmen Rodriguez, Ranieri, Nuri Hall. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracham Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May those that we've mentioned, all those who are suffering around the world, and everybody get complete and speedy healing, and let us say, Amen. Please rise as we turn to Aleinu on page 283, top of the page. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'tei kedula l'yotzer b'reishit shehu sam kelkeinu l'yaked et shemo v'gor aleinu l'itmachuto v'anachnu kohin U'Shtachaminu Modim Lifnei Melech Malkei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 287. V'ne'emar V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol haaretz V'yom ha'u Yiyeh Adonai echad Hoshemo 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 echad. You may be seated. At this time, our hearts turn to those who lost loved ones or remembering loved ones at this time. In Shloshim, the first 30 days after death, Paul Siskin, brother of Janie Siskin, Raymond Markman, father of Leslie Stern, Leah Gershon V'Udya, mother of Rabbi Jenny Antwich. And we remember the 6 murdered hostages, Hirsch Goldberg Poland, Carmel Gott, Aidan Yerushalmi, Alexander Lobanov, Almog Sarusi, and Master Sergeant Marty Danino. Anybody here remembering someone today? Isaac Antonovsky, Barbara Feinberg Beckhoff, Moshe Ben Chaim, Barbara Ruth Boynoff, Julius Cohen, Dorothy Corwin, Charlotte Doran, Abraham Freiberg, Fred Fullenweider, William Holtzman, Doris Kaplan, Harry Kaufman, Dorothy Luckrock, Morris Wright, Albert Rosen, John Silver, Alice Teich, Clint, and Clint Welch. In their honor, and then remembering all of them as our loved ones, we can recite the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'gala u'vizman karib, v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam u'lamei almayah. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh, v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shmei dekudesha. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiran v'yalmav v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Zichronam livracha, may their memories truly be a blessing. President is not here today, so in loco presidentis, in place of our wonderful president. Torah study was at 9 o'clock this morning. I hope some of you got a chance to. We had a nice turnout there. The topic was for longer lasting lashes, which talk not about eyelashes and grooming the eyelashes, but about flogging as a punishment, lashing. Our religious school classes resumed last Sunday, September 8th. We're excited to see so many kids, over 40 kids of school age, plus another 35 or 40 of high school age that began in the last 2 weeks. Really excited to see the number of kids registering and kids coming back. If you have any questions about how to register, please get in touch with me, Brian Searle, your Director of Education. High holidays will be late this year. Wait, they're always in Tishrei. Now they're going to be late in the English calendar, right? October 2nd is Erev Rosh Hashanah. All members in good standing have been sent an email to either print or download their tickets. If you need help with that, let us know. If you didn't receive an email, it means we haven't received your commitment form or pledge for the coming year. So make it easy for you. You can just call the office. and we can fill in the form for you over the phone. Those of you who can do it on your own computer or phones, welcome to do so. If you have any questions or want to speak with Wendy Steinberg or our executive director, she'd love to hear from you. If you need to purchase non-member tickets, you can call Faith at the office. Any one of us will help you. Remembrance Day event will take place on Sunday, October 7th in the Jewish section of Memorial Garden Cemetery on Rodeo Road. That's at 1:30 on Sunday, October 6th. The rabbis and cantors from all of our synagogues in our area will participate together, demonstrating the strength and vitality of our Santa Fe Jewish community. Welcome everybody. Look forward to our adult education offerings on the next 2 weeks. We'll be sending that out by email. It'll be in the e-digest and in our upcoming bulletin, special one for the high holidays. And on all the seats at the high holidays, we will have our catalog of adult education offerings. So we will conclude on page 321 with Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Asher Mahalah, Them Kol Yetzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, B'chef Sokol, Azai Melech, Shemo Nikra, Azai Melech, Shemo Nikra, Yacharei Kiklot HaKol, Levado, Nimloch Nora, Vehu Haya, Vehu Hoveh, Vehu Yiyeh, Betifara, Vehu Yiyeh, Betifara, Vehu Echad, Ve'en Sheni, V'hamshilo, V'hachbira, V'li Reshit, V'li Tachlit, V'lo Haos, V'hamishra, V'lo Haos, V'hamishra, V'hu Eli, V'chai Go'ali, V'tzur Chevli, V'yein Tzara, V'hu Nisi, U'manos Li, Menatosi, V'yom Mekra, Menatosi, V'yom Mekra, V'yado Avkid Ruchi, V'yekishan, V'ya'ira, V'yimnuchi, Yevi'ati, Adonai Li, V'lo ira, Adonai Li, V'lo ira. And you have a challah, fresh challah for today. And blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagaf and l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming, joining us from home. Enjoy the beautiful weather here at Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Bim bam. Bim 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 bam. Chitty bitty bitty bim bam. Bim 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 bam. Bim bim. Okay. Oh, I should take you one more time. Yes. We have a nice kiddush that everybody's missing in the back. So let's go have some lunch.